What's going on, everyone? It's Tay, aka Slay, and I want to talk about one of my favorite YouTubers today. Jen Loves Reviews uploaded a video, Why People Watch Jackie Aina. And I know a lot of you who follow me on Twitter and here on YouTube were very apprehensive about it. Jen has the series, this is now the second video in a series, of Why People Watch X Beauty Guru. Because she did one on Raw Beauty Christie, I think a week before, and I saw that video. So when I saw that Jen was doing one for Jackie, I knew, because I had seen the previous video, that it wasn't coming from a malicious place. It wasn't, why do people watch Jackie? It wasn't that at all. I knew that. And I just watched the video and I was confirmed. But knowing this video was coming, it inspired me to finally share my story about how Jackie Aina literally saved my life. I don't know if she knows this. Actually, she does. I told her all of this in a comment way back when. Do y'all remember when the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette dropped? Jackie had bought one for herself and was also sent the palette in PR and was hosting a giveaway. I didn't care about the giveaway. I already knew I was gonna go buy the palette, but I took the opportunity to leave my story and how it related to her in her comment section, and she said, "Love you." She also wished me a happy birthday this year, so that makes me feel good. And I don't know if she'll ever see this video, but I wanted to share it with you all because I actually don't think a lot of YouTubers know how much they can affect someone. It's why when bigger YouTubers get into these scandals and some people say, well, what's the big deal? It's like, you don't understand. Even older people can look up to the people that they watch. Just depends on who it is. So here's my story. In October of 2016, my mother told me that she was ill. She had been ill pretty much my entire life. But on this one very cold October night, she told me that all of her conditions were terminal. I mean, all of them. My mother had chronic myeloid leukemia, diabetes, like her kidneys were failing, osteoarthritis, which I know many people live with, but still. She had congestive heart failure. She was a medical book of diseases, and she told me at that night, the doctors told her there was literally nothing else they can do for her. And she held on for one more year and passed in December of 2017. But as a result of that and other things I was going through, I might get a little emotional through this. I started losing interest in things. I started exhibiting the symptoms of depression. And it wasn't until I saw on Facebook a description of the symptoms of depression where I went, oh God, that's me. But I had been depressed before and I was like, I can get through this. I don't need to go to therapy. I don't need to do anything. In the midst of all of that, in the days where I would lock myself in my apartment, not wanting to deal with anybody or crying uncontrollably, I would binge watch YouTube. And then one day, in this one rare moment of clarity, something said to me, look up how to do a smoky eye. Now, I had played around with makeup, but not in any kind of serious way. The first makeup I ever purchased, aside from anything in the drugstore, was ColourPop. I loved their liquid lipsticks, and I was fascinated by their Super Shock shadows. So I bought a couple and would just, do a little on the hand, swatch on the eye, walk out the door. And I thought I was really doing something. But I wanted to learn how to do a smoky eye. And I remembered that a long time ago, I had found Wayne Goss's channel. I hadn't subscribed, but I found his channel. And I remember him doing a smoky eye tutorial. So I watched that again. And then I stepped back and said, I wonder what this would look like on a black woman, somebody with my complexion. So I typed in the YouTube search bar, smoky eye on a black woman. And Jackie's was one of the first videos to come up. So I watched her channel. I watched that video. I watched another video. And by the end of that week, I had watched every video on her channel. I had just fallen for her delivery, and she was a veteran. My father was in the Army, so I didn't know if she had grown up in the Army, and that's why, if she was an Army brat like myself, and that's why she served, or what, but I was completely taken with her. And after that entire week of binge watching her channel, this was when Maybelline Fit Me had just hit stores, and everybody was talking about it. Everybody's talking about the range and how you could finally find a foundation in the drugstore that matched you. So that's what I did. I went to my Dwayne Reed. This was back when I lived in New York. I went to Dwayne Reed, found the exact shade that Jackie used, because Jackie and I are basically similar. I think she might be a shade or two lighter than me in some foundations, but I know for a fact that she and I are the same shade in NARS long Natural Radiant Longwear and Sheer Glow. We're both Macau. So that's usually what that's usually how I match my foundations. So I ordered a bunch of makeup, some off of Amazon. Actually, I ordered a bunch of makeup and skincare from Amazon. Anything that Jackie had suggested, I put in my cart, ordered, and as soon as it got to my house, I started playing around. Still wasn't filling in my eyebrows. That was a few months to come. But I noticed that when I was learning and applying makeup, those were the times when I was applying my makeup and when I was doing my skincare. Those were the 2 times a day that my mind was completely clear, and it felt like the cloud of depression that was weighing me down lifted. Because my mind was so focused on, this is where you place the concealer, I need to be steady to draw the line of my lip liner, I need to take the extra time to blend in my foundation. That whole process, during that entire time, my mind was clear. And it made me so happy. And then at night, when I was removing my skincare, I have those times where I really don't want to take off my makeup because I love the look. I spent so much time on it and I love my look. But same thing, at night when I'm doing my skincare, when I'm doing my double cleanse, when I'm applying my exfoliating toner, when I'm doing my moisturizer and I'm using my essences and my serums, again, my mind is clear. So that's one way she helped me, because she helped me discover makeup. She helped instill a love of makeup in me, because I wanted to look like Jackie. Let's be real. I was 34 at the time, really had not played with makeup outside of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows and some of their liquid lipsticks. And here I was buying foundation and concealer and powder and lip pencils and eyeliner, and lashes are a new thing for me. I just started wearing lashes about 2 months ago, seriously. But that's where that came from. It came from Jackie during that dark period. But here's how she made an even greater impact on my life. I had friends at work who had been on the same journey I was in terms of depression, anxiety, things like that. And my best friend at work was like, listen, I think you need to talk to somebody. And I was so stubborn. I was like, no, I just need a new job. I just need to be away from this place. Everything will be fine. No. I don't need to go back to therapy. Because I had been in therapy several times before and nothing ever happened. Nothing ever helped, except for the first therapist that I went to in New York City, and that was a few years before this. She really helped, but then she left the practice, and I thought I was good enough to not need any therapy beyond that. So I'm fighting against my best friend at work. I'm like, I don't need to go to therapy. And then Jackie uploads a video. I know it's still on her channel because it wasn't anything controversial. I think it was called like Bronze Goddess Glow. And like, I remember the thumbnail. It was her with this faux fur jacket and this really cute low cut dress, and she was just glowing. And in the video, it's a get ready with me, and she's talking about exactly what I was going through at the time. She was talking about how she started having these feelings and she started feeling low, and she would start talking to her friends about it, but nobody had any kind of answers. Like, she would vent and vent and vent, but nobody could give her any kind of advice to really help her sort her emotions out. And then she said she prayed on it and decided that the best thing for her to do was to seek counseling. And so she found a Christian counselor, and she talked about, going every week, and how at the time of the filming of the video, they were doing every other week. And she was, talking about her ex-husband and how she got the courage through therapy to close the door on that chapter of her life by saying, "You didn't break me." And it was then that it clicked for me. I need to seek therapy, because that's exactly what I'm going through. That's exactly what I'm feeling. I'm sitting here venting to all of my friends, and nobody's giving me any useful information. Nobody's giving me any kind of advice to help me move through this. And a day to 2 days later, I started my search. And I went to one psychiatrist, didn't like her because she was, I don't know how you can be a therapist and be unempathetic, but I could not. And then I was looking for another therapist within that same practice, and I put in the address wrong, and that was a happy miracle, because I found two therapists. One therapist, my first therapist at this new practice, who was amazing, and then the therapist after her, because she left the practice, the therapist after her was the therapist I had before I moved out here, and I miss her so much. She was everything, and I really have to attribute that to Jackie, because had I not watched that video, I wouldn't have gotten help, and I wouldn't have made it through the things that I went through had I not been in therapy. While I was in therapy, I had to deal with the death of my biological mother and my adoptive mom, and the worst breakup of my life. I'll do a story time on that later. But I was in therapy during those times, and I was in therapy while I was getting ready for the move from New York City to California, and I don't know where I would be if I didn't have my therapist. And I don't know where I would be had I not been convinced by that video that Jackie made to seek help. So, again, I don't know if she'll ever see this, but like I said, she knows my story because I left it in the comment section of the Naked Heat review and tutorial. But thank you, Jackie. I think I'm 5 years older than Jackie. I'm 38. I think she turns 33 this year. I know there are people who despise Jackie because she makes everything about race. I'm sorry to tell you guys, that's not our fault. A lot of people make things about race by default because we're either left out, and when we speak up, we're called aggressive. And I think that's one of the things that really gets me, is that when somebody else speaks out, somebody that doesn't look like me and Jackie, they're like, "Oh, she's sassy, she's assertive, I like that." But when we speak out, we're aggressive, we're bitches, it's a lot, and we're tired. But she is brave enough to speak up and say, "Hey, this isn't right. We deserve to have shades. We deserve to be acknowledged. We buy makeup too. We deserve to be beautiful as well." I know there was that whole thing with Petty Page. Jen didn't address it because that's not what her video was about. I will address it here. I actually stopped supporting Jackie for a period of time right after that whole thing, because you can love someone and not support everything they do. What she did to Paige was wrong. To accuse someone of fraud is bigger than, honestly, I think a lot of people can imagine, because allegations like that can and have ruined people's lives. And I do agree that your apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect. But I think I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, listen, she reached out the way she did. It's a whole lot of back and forth that's really irrelevant right now because Paige has moved on with her life. Jackie has moved on with her life. I know a lot of people don't like Jackie because of that, the spring anti-haul she did where she said she was no longer supporting Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And I know that a lot of people have feelings about Jeffree Star. I don't support Jeffree Star personally. I'm not here to tell you who to support. I'm not even here to tell you how to support Jackie. I'm just sharing my story with you and how I feel about her as an influencer and as a presence on social media. I do believe that she is important because you do have a lot of Black and other people of color influencers in the space who are silent when it comes to our representation in the beauty space and in the beauty industry. I know there's a video on my channel where I respond to people going at Jackie because of something she said on Twitter, and I'll address it again here. There was a time where Jackie tweeted that she only wanted to be seen by Black doctors, and a lot of people I follow who were saying, well, how would you feel if I said I only wanted to see white doctors? There are links and videos, if you Google, where doctors of every race, color, and creed have admitted that they are taught to disregard the pain and the complaints of African American patients. In my video, I go through the history of experimentation that was done, the gynecological experimentation that was done on slaves, because there was the belief that Black women do not process pain. I say in that video that what Jackie said could be abrasive. You just see that, but not knowing where she was coming from with that is what caused that reaction. It's not an ignorant statement. It's just like a woman saying that she only wants to see a female gynecologist because, well, a woman just instinctively knows a woman's body better. You know, she has been through the same things that I have been in terms of maybe childbirth and PMS or maybe PPMD. She understands what's going on in my body because she's gone through it too. That's like when a lot of people say that they want to see a therapist or a psychiatrist who is only male or only female or only of this religious constitution or this race, because it's like this person has similar thoughts and ideas and they can relate to me because our experience has been the same. That's all that is. And unless you understand that for yourself, it's going to read a certain way. But that's why I made my video, to be like, wait. This is what she said. This is why she said it. Because I know I've been watching Jackie for years. And I know that some of the ways that she expresses herself can make people go, whoa. But that's anybody, you know? I've been told many times by my dad, who I no longer speak to, but it's true. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I think a lot of people have preconceived notions of Jackie. And if you've, like, she even acknowledges she's not for everybody. She's not for everybody. And I'm not here, again, to tell you to like her or not. I'm not here to tell you you should support her or not. I'm just here to tell you that this woman is quite possibly one of the reasons I'm sitting here in front of you right now. And she has my eternal gratitude because my life is beautiful. I mean, we're all going through it right now. But like I said in one of my earlier videos, if I had stayed in New York, which I probably would have had I not sought help and realized that there was an alternative, a better alternative for me, I would have lost my job, probably would have lost my apartment. I would be destitute. So because I had therapists help me process all of those things, I'm here. and I have a job where I can work from home, and I'm still earning a paycheck. I'm still paying my bills. I'm still putting food in my mouth. I'm still able to do things that certain people have lost the ability to do. And I don't know if that would be the story had it not started from watching that video and seeking help. And honestly, makeup is one of the things that's saving me. I'm working from home like everybody else at my company right now, and I still get up in the morning and I still make myself look pretty because I need to stay in a positive mindset. Because if I don't, this could possibly crush me. And I'm a fighter. And Jackie had a hand in that. So the moral of the story is, honestly, just find your inspiration where you can. I found it in her and several other influencers. Maybe if you want me to talk about them, hit me down below and let me know what other influencers have made an impact on me. I will definitely talk about them because they deserve their flowers as well. But I'm going to go. It's like, please, 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 ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the comments civil. I'm not in a place where I can fight. I've already said it. If you don't like Jackie for whatever reason, that is totally your right. I'm not here to change your mind about her. I'm just here to tell you how she helped me and why I support her. It's 100% about me. If you don't like her, that's fine. There are influencers that I don't support that you do, and I'm not one to go around every other day and be like, you're a horrible person for liking this person. So let's just keep it cute, let's keep it civil, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for joining me today. I know there are a million videos you could have watched today. I humbly thank you for coming to Slay. Bye.